Dr. Anil Prabhakar Kulkarni sir, former principal, HV Desai College, Pune, as a chief guest in this inaugural session. Also, I welcome our respected director, UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Professor Satish Patil sir, and the entire selected participants of this 12th NEP orientation course being run by this UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center. As already in the induction meeting, it has been communicated that the 8th core theme of this NEP, that is Indian Knowledge System, Holistic Multidisciplinary Education, Academic Leadership and Governance and Management, then Students, Diversity in Conclusive Education, Research and Development, and then Higher Education in Society, and Information Communication Technology and Skill Development. These 8 components will be covered in the 8 working days of this course. Also, there will be an MCQs examination will be followed in the second week of this course. So I hope that this will be a fruitful thing for all the teacher participants, those who have joined this NEP orientation and sensitization course. And I hope that they will carry forward something in their bags when they will go to their colleagues, friends, and students. So now I would request Amol Madan to start the banner and university song. Amol Madan.
Yes, sir.
सागराचे इतिहासाचे जनामनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे गीत आमुचे आकाशाचे गीत आमुचे सागराचे इतिहासाचे जनामनाचे गीत आमुचे वाऱ्यातही मराठीचे दिवे लख घरोघर संत महंतांचे विरागी गीत आमुचे कागळाचे इतिहासाचे जनामनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे तंतु तंतु संघर्षाचा पैठणीत भिनले
नक्षीतच पक्षी पक्षी विजयाचा मिळले
सोन पहाट उदयाचे गीत आमुचे उजेडाचे इतिहासाचे जनामनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे
प्रज्ञेचा सूर्य नवा शब्द शब्द उजळून गेला समतेचा संग्राचा अर्थ ढाळून गेला
विराट विशाल संस्कृतीचे गीत आमुचे जीवनाचे इतिहासाचे जनामनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे गीत आमुचे आकाशाचे गीत आमुचे सागराचे इतिहासाचे जनामनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे
Thank you, Amol. You can close the banner. So, the chief guest for this inaugural session, Dr. Anil Prabhakar Kulkarni, a person with a vast teaching and research experience of 38 years, and has also been appointed as Honorable Governor, appointed by Honorable Governor as a member of Board of Management at YCMU, appointed by Government of Maharashtra as a member for Scrutiny Committee of Private University, member Accounts and Finance Committee of FNDT University, member Commerce Board of Study, MIT World Peace University, is also president of Akhil Bharatiya Rashtriya Shaikshanic Mahasangh Higher Education Wing of Maharashtra, then president of Bharatiya Rajniti Abhyas Mandal, then stage in charge of Vidyapit Vikas Manch Maharashtra, and also vice president of Deen Dayal Shikshan Sanstha Baramati Pune, and vice president of Savitri Mandir Shikshan Sanstha Pune. Educational advisor to H.V. Desai College Pune and Amruteshwar Arts and Commerce and Science Windsor. He hold the position of principal, vice principal at H.V. Desai College. Also as elected as a member of Commerce faculty in Savitribai Phule Pune University for 4 times, also in the subjects of accountancy of Board of Studies, then Senate member of the University, Savitribai Phule Pune University 2 times, and nominated as a member of Accounts and Audit Committee by the same university, then worked as a standing committee member, chairman of Local Inquiry Committee, chairman of paper setting. So many positions he has earned. Also, he has supervised 5 PhD students and 5 MPhil theses. He has published 22 books in various commerce subjects like financial accounting, advanced accounting, corporate accounting, management accounting, advanced auditing. Also have published a number of research papers in various well-reputed national and international journals. Is also working on as an editorial board for many journalism and also social contribution has been vast of our respected resource person. So not taking much of time, I would now request our chief guest to deliver the inaugural address of this NEP orientation and centralization. After that, we will have a full-fledged lecture of Kulkarni sir, but in short, he will not deliver an inaugural address to all of us. Over to you, sir.
Sir, Patil sir is speaking, no, sir?
No, you will speak. After that, Patil sir will speak and we will conclude, sir.
Acha, so now I will conclude, continue with my topic, no?
No, only for 4 to 5 minutes you can inaugurate this session. Then
Okay.
Patil sir will speak and we will conclude, and after that your lecture will be.
Okay, sir. I'm very thankful to respected Patil sir, Dr. Rafe sir, Director and Assistant Director, Deputy Director of this Madan Mohan Malviya Teachers Training course, and I'm very glad to share my views with all of you. I would like to congratulate Honorable Vice Chancellor, Pro Vice Chancellor, directors for organizing such a good seminar for all of you. It is a workshop for 8 days, as Professor already said, and NEP they kept as a main issue for this discussion. So I hope this is a really need of the time, because we are in a position to implement NEP 2020 right from this academic year all over in Maharashtra as well as all over India. Now new Modi government, third time already sworn in, and already HRD Minister Dharmendra Pradhan ji also is explained his priority of implementation of NEP. Now this in next 4-5 years, this government will definitely give support to NEP implementation all over the country, because this NEP took place in Modi's government, and fortunately they are again here third time. So I hope that implementation will take place as fast as possible, and our universities are already working, and very happy to share you that all over India this NEP is welcomed by the teachers, by the management persons, by the students also, and some autonomous colleges are already started implementation of it in Maharashtra and in Delhi also. And so some fruits will definitely come out after 4-5 years, when first batch will take degree. Then they will realize how they are different than regular degree. So students will definitely benefited due to proper implementation of this NEP 2020. And I would like to share with you all that thanks to the government and thanks to the policy makers, because they kept teachers as a center point of this NEP. In all other policies we discussed so far, but nobody discussed about teachers' role. But this NEP 2020 document highlighted the role of teachers in NEP 2020. Without the consultation, without the support, without the enthusiasm of the teachers, NEP success will be far away. And so they realized it, and so they kept it as a very important sector and important stakeholders of this policy. And so as a teacher, those who are new in this profession, they will be lucky, because definitely they will deliver some fruits of this policy to the students, and students will be benefited in lastly, finally, they will be benefited, and for best of the utilization of the students' potentials, this NEP implementation is needed. And I hope and I expect that all teachers all over the country will definitely participate, will welcome. And right from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, I traveled for this NEP awareness campaign. I delivered lecture in Srinagar University also, in Gujarat, in Madhya Pradesh, and all you will find in Delhi also, and you will find all over the country observed, right from Tripura to Gujarat and Kashmir to Kanyakumari. You will observe that all are in enthusiastic mood to welcome this NEP 2020, because something new they are doing. Whatever we did in last 75 years, we are going to change it radically. Radical changes are there, and you all are going to witness all these benefits and all these fruits, and you will see the powerful India, strengthen India, and strengthen Indian youth power. And you will observe in your own eyes in coming days, and you will be one of the most important participants for this development. So I welcome all these efforts made by all universities, particularly Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, taking a lot of efforts to keep the teachers aware about the NEP program and proper and right implementation of NEP program. So again, I congratulate Honorable Vice Chancellor, Pro Vice Chancellor, Director, Joint Director of this course, and I give my all best wishes to all the participants, and they will definitely will come forward and will implement NEP by heart in total. That with this expectation, I conclude my words. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inaugural address. Indeed, we are waiting eagerly for a lecture of our respected resource person, Dr. Anil Kulkarni, sir. President of this inaugural session, Professor Dr. Satish Patil, sir. stands a luminary in the realm of environment. His illustrious career, woven with accomplishment, accolates and profound commitment to the field. Currently holding the esteemed position of senior professor at Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University in Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, Professor Patil has left an indelible mark through his multi-faced contribution. Dr. Patil's journey at BAMU has marked by a series of administrative roles, each testifying to his leadership, acumen, and dedication to academic excellence. Serving as the director of BCUD, he has outreach pivotal initiative. His stint as an in-charge officer academic planning reflected his strategic foresight in steering the academic trajectory of BAMU. A seasoned academician, Dr. Patil has twice assumed the mantle of the head of Department of Environmental Science, showcasing his endured commitment to shaping the next generation of environmental scientists. His visionary leadership during 2006 to 8 and 2017 to 2020 left an indelible imprint on the department. In the realm of research, Dr. Patil has been a trailblazer. 2 patent innovation stands testament to his innovative spirit, undertaking 12 research projects with a total outlay of 76 lakh, has delved into complexities of environmental science, contributing significantly to the academic and scientific community. As a mentor, Dr. Patil's impact reverberates through the access of his PhD students, with 30 awarded PhD and 6 currently under his guidance. He exemplifies the art of nurturing research scholars. His scholarly endeavors extended globally, having participated and attended 19 international conferences and 58 national conferences. Dr. Patil's global footprint is not confined to the conference alone. His extensive travels to the 9 countries, including Germany, Italy, Switzerland, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Dubai, Thailand, and the Maldives, underscores his commitment to fostering international collaboration and gaining diverse perspective. A prolific author, Dr. Patil has 134 research publications in various national and international journals, boasting an impressive impact factor of 52. Additionally, his literary contribution include 14 books and 5 book chapters, further enriching the academic landscape. International collaboration with the University of Rajshahi, Bangladesh, and Eastern University, Sri Lanka showcased Dr. Patil's commitment to fostering global partnership. His recognition extends beyond borders, with prestigious awards such as Environmentalist of the Year 2017 and Scientist of the Year 2018 during his accolade laden career. The Clean Environment Promotion Award 2018 further solidifies his commitment to environmental causes. Fellowship from the Indian Association Aquatic Biologics and International Congress of Chemistry and Environment and Microbiology Society India highlight his stature in the scientific community. Life membership in the International Foundation for Environmental and Ecology underline his enduring commitment to the environmental advocacy. In every phase of his career, Professor Satish Patil embodies excellence, dedication, and a relentless pursuit of knowledge. His impact on environmental science and academia is not just local, but resonates global, making him a true luminary in his field. So I would now request our respected director, Professor Satish Patil, sir, to deliver a presidential remark to this inaugural session.
Good afternoon, all of you. Respected AP Kulkarni sir, all fellow participants, my colleague Dr. Rafe, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you, all of you, for this NEP orientation and sensitization program, which will be for next 2 weeks. That is 8 working days on the different topics which Dr. Rafe has already been pointed out. While implementing the NEP at graduation and post-graduation level, it is for the teaching pedagogy as well as teaching techniques and inculcation of skills into the education, which should be particularly a job-oriented skill. And the most important part is that on-job training has been included into the NEP to inculcate the job skills. Of course, the NEP implementation with the aim of improving the GR also, but the most important part is that the innovation, incubation, and communication that should be included into the curriculum, and the curriculum should be outcome-based framework, and that is what it is very, very important, because you know that when we call up a teacher, we should have a commitment to the students, society, not only the students in society, but also we should have a commitment to the excellence. Because you know that being a teacher, we should be able to inculcate the basic human values to become a good teacher. And Dr. A.P. Kulkarni sir has rightly pointed out that whenever we wanted to improve the performance of the students, we should see that we need to improve the certain techniques, particularly teaching techniques, for the growth and success of the students. Because you know that when we are talking about the technological skills, even the subject matter skills, the most important part is the people skill, the personal and behavioral skills, as well as learning and unlearning, as well as relearning skills. That is also very important. And now we have to focus on the commercial and the legal skills also. But it is very, very important. Now, whenever we are talking about the professional opportunities in the market, because you know that now students, not only we need to educate them, but also we should see that they should set their career into the professional market, being open up themselves into the different kinds of opportunities. Particularly, for example, the opportunity in research, the product development and manufacturing, the product-driven services, even daily needs, and the support services, even commercial services, administrative, and the knowledge-driven services also. And that is what the role of teacher is very, very important to shape up the career of the students. Because you know that the role of the teacher should be a problem solver. He should be a real mentor and the trainer to the students. And he should be a support member to the students. And he should be always in the, the position of assisting the students as and when students wanted to excel themselves. Now, there are different roles and categorizations which we normally used to make while educating the students. But you know that whenever we are talking about the skills, does this skill development mean the couple of technical or vocational or in the skill courses? Because you know that when we wanted to educate the academical students, because as you know that nowadays the academic rating is just for shortlisting. But you know that for success of this career, some professionals are very important. That is what we need to motivate the students. Apart from that, as far as the curriculum is concerned, we should be able to include extracurricular learning to the students into your framework of the curriculum. Like particularly for the technological courses, management courses, language courses, industrial exhibitions and workshops. That also we should send students are exposed to them. Even the national international conferences, seminars, adventure camps, expeditions at the level of 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, we should be able to develop a basic characteristics into students, because you know that is very, very important. Apart from teaching and learning and educating them, rating them academically, we should include their basic characteristics also, like a clarity in their minds, competence, confidence, creativity into the students, improvement, then the initiatives, conformance, as well as communication. And students should be very systematic, organized, and he should have also a temperament to work as a teamwork, and you should also have a temperament of as and when opportunity as an entrepreneurship or any kind of employment. I think we need to get all these things into the students through a curriculum framework. And that is what it is very, very important that being a mentor, being a teacher, our role is very, very important in shaping up the student's career. And I hope that during this course of sensitization and orientation program, you will enjoy all these aspects of improving the students' performance by sharing experiences through the subject experts. You can also participate into this session by sharing your views also and interacting with the participants also. That is very, very important part. And I believe that during this course, you'll enjoy this feast of the different parts that you can include into your curriculum. Wish you all the best. I hope that this course will be very successful depending upon your participation, how you interact, how you participate, and how you put yourself into this mission of implementing NEP effectively to the students, rating the career. Thank you very much.
Huh. So I will not, with the permission of the chair, I now declare that this inaugural session is over, and I would now hand over the session to Kulkarni, sir. Over to
Yeah.
you. Sir.
Thank you, sir. Now we'll start with our first lecture on NEP. And again, I congratulate and express my vote of thanks at the outset to the director, Professor Satish Patil, sir, Rafe, sir, all other authorities of the university for inviting me for this lecture and giving me an opportunity to share my view with all the young teachers of this country. Actually, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar University doing a very important job, very valuable job organizing such type of workshops for the teachers. Because as I said in inaugural speech, that teachers are playing a very key role in implementation of NEP 2020. So dear friends, try to understand how efforts are taken to form this NEP 2020. This NEP 2020 is a 484 pages document. Now there it was edited and published in 65 pages. Actually, the NEP came out with 14 meetings of this NEP committee. Kasturi Rangan, well-known scientist, he was the president of this NEP drafting committee, and some vice chancellors and educational experts were the members of this committee. They discuss in detail, they discuss thoroughly the education system at present in India and what is expected in future, taking into consideration next 50 years development of the world as well as our nation. This policy is framed. And this policy is not framed in one day or within 1 month. 2 years they were discussing about this policy, and they contacted 74 institutions. 74 institutions, all educational related institutions were contacted by the committee, and 217 experts also individually interviewed by the committee members, and lot of discussion took place right from President of India to Sarpanch of the village. So it was discussed all over the country. Views were expected from the state education ministers, state chief ministers, Jilla Parishad, Taluka Panchayat, even village Panchayat. And it was widely discussed all over the country. When first draft was ready, it was put up on online for discussion, for giving suggestions to the people. And you will surprised to note, near about 2 lakh suggestions sorry. 2 lakh suggestions were received. This committee, and committee formed 7 subcommittees to analyze these suggestions for more than 2 lakhs. And in 7 groups they were seated, and they discussed all the suggestions in detail, and some of the suggestions were accepted by the committee, and then final draft was put up before the parliament, and then parliament finally approved this draft on 29th July 2020 unanimously. So before accepting by the parliament, 2 years it was discussed all over the country. All state ministers also were contacted. They give their views, and taking into consideration all India need and our Indian development in coming days, policy was formed. First point of discussion of the policy, there are many points, but I cannot go into detail. But as you know that there is a criticism last 75 years we are listening from all sections, right from president to sarpanch, that whatever you are teaching in school and colleges is totally outdated. Your students, those who are graduated from universities, they are not employable. They are not even eligible to understand the basic concepts of the subjects. And so we need to give them training again, and then they become employable for our industry. So that was the criticism on our education system last so many years we are discussing. First policy Dr. Radhakrishnan introduced, then Kothari Commission came. Kothari Commission also gave very detailed note about it. And then in 1986, when Rajiv Gandhi was Prime Minister, new education policy was introduced. It was amended in 1992. And this is now fourth policy, we can say. But this is the first policy of 21st century. Taking into consideration avenues open to our students in 21st century and taking into consideration the global world now. After 1991 in India, we are observing this global world because we became member of WTO, World Trade Organizations, and we accepted their conditions and terms and conditions. And so we keep our doors open. When Manmohan Singh was finance minister and Narsimha Rao was the prime minister in 1991, we accepted globalization. And so globalization when started, globalization, then privatization, these concepts were accepted by Indian government in 1991. And now these views are continued, though party change in the power, but policy remain constant, policy remains stable, because this policy is a part of our international commitments. So though government is changed, though political party different in the power, they cannot make any change because these are the commitments given by Indian government to national, international bodies. And so they need to obey, they need to follow all these policies. And so fortunately in our External Affairs Ministry, you will find all 75 years, some constant policies are there. Policies are not changed. Though governments are changed, but policies are not changed because we maintain our credibility in the world market, because we maintain all these policies. Our External Affairs Minister, our Defense Minister, our Education Minister, Finance Minister, they all obeyed these policies, though in spite of changes in the government structure. And so when 2014 Modi became Prime Minister first time in India, he realized that we need to change our education policy also to make our students more competent and more strong, and to go for development, we have to change our education structure in toto. Because though British ruled India 150 years, in 1947 we became independent. But since 1947 to up to 2020, the education policy and education structure which we are following is a British structure. They gave us, we are following it. We not made any radical changes in that. Though new policies came out, but policies were good. Kothari Commission report was also, if you read, very good report. But unfortunately, it was not implemented in toto. And that's why fruits are not derived. So, finally, what is the purpose of education? As Dr. Vivekananda said, rightly speaking, who gave perfect definition of education? Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda gave perfect definition of education, that it is a development of perfection or already exists in a man. Education is doing this perfection job. The purpose of the education system is to develop good human beings. This is the basic purpose, good human beings. And 2020 policy says that education is necessary, is a fundamental for achieving full human potential, developing an equitable and just society. So full potential, Vivekananda ji said same thing. So we have to develop full potentials of the student already exist in a man. Every person is having some strengths, some weaknesses. So as a teacher, we have to observe what are his strength points, what are his liking, what are his good things. And we need to nurture them. What happened? Our education system, you are observing now what happened, what is going on in NEET examination or all India CET examinations. So And that's why there is a radical change in education system. There is a radical change in examination system because of this policy is going to come. Because our examination system is what we have studied 1 year, you have to just reproduce in 3 hours paper. So this was not proper in taking into consideration new development trends. Many educational experts suggested that education should be enjoyable. Make it enjoyable right from childhood. Make it enjoyable. So let the students come and sit in the classes. If you see arts and commerce colleges all over the country, what is the attendance in the classroom? This is a matter of serious concern. Why students are not attending classes in the universities and colleges? They are joining private colleges. In 11th and 12th, you are observing students are taking admission only in the college, but actually they are joining classes at Rajkot or at Jaipur or some other places in Maharashtra, Latur. Private coaching is in flourish. So somewhere we need to think all these things and redraft our education system. That was the need of the time. And so Dr. Kasturirangan was the chairman of this committee. He realized, all his colleague and members of the committee also realized that. And after a lot of discussion of 2 years, they came out with this policy document, which is really a radical change bringing in our education field. They are giving 4 areas discussed in NEP 2020. And after 29 July 2020, there was a corona. And because of the corona, 2 years we lost to come in regular mode. Now we are in regular mode. And so there is a delay in implementation also, because 2 years we lost because of this unavoidable situations. And so after coming out with this policy, there are 27 chapters and they divided in 4 groups. 4 groups are: one is school education, second is higher education, third is other key areas to focus, and fourth is making it happen. Now we are discussing how making it happen, 4th stage. So, especially this policy in its vision said that education of India should be Bharat oriented. Whatever we followed in last 75 years, that is the British system of education we followed. Affiliation system, examination system, they gave us and we followed it. We never thought about change in it. Kothari Commission thought about it, but not implemented in toto. And Kothari Commission introduced 10 plus 2 plus 3 pattern. Now this education, NEP 2020 suggested another change. 10 plus 2, instead of 10 plus 2 plus 3 pattern, they came out with 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 pattern. Means total education is 15 years. 10 plus 3 plus 2, 15 years. School education. Here also 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. This is also 15 years. So this new changes come out with this, that what are the speciality of this NEP 2020 if you ask me. First speciality is all educational experts writing, speaking, propaganding last so many years, one thing that the brain development of a child took place, 85% brain development took place from age up to 6, 0 to 6. 0 to 6 is the age group where 85% brain development of the child take place. When this is the suggestion, and unfortunately, we start our primary education right from after age 6. First standard admission. If you want to take first admission in first standard, minimum age requirement is 6. So Montessori education was under uncontrolled system. There, people giving Montessori education, junior KG, senior KG, then playgroup, junior KG, senior KG. But that education was totally neglected by our experts, unfortunately. And when student took admission in first standard, then formal education started. And so this is totally wrong as per the experts' opinion. And so they suggested that you need to think about this age group education also. And so this NEP 2020 gave serious thought to it. And that's why this new pattern is introduced, 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. First 5 is 3 years education right from age 3, 4, 5. Means from age 3 to age 18. Previously, age 6 to 14 only covered. Now this policy covers age right from 3 to 18. And RT is applicable up to age 18 now, because Government of India accepted it in Parliament. So this is binding and this is mandatory to all the states, that to give right to education, right to students up to the age of 18. So it's government responsibility to give education up to the age of 18 to everyone. Those who are demanding education, it's a prime responsibility of the government to provide education. And that's why this education system is first time considering Montessori education, and you will find this year the Montessori education draft is published. This year, right from age 3 to 6, what to teach. It is discussed at national level. It is discussed at national level, and entire syllabus is ready and it is now available on website. So all over India now, age group 3 to 6, what type of education we should give to such students? Because this is the foundation course, and that's why it is called foundation stage. So this is the foundation. Once his foundation is perfect, students are clear. When their brain development took place, if you give proper education to them, then they will deliver proper goods in their life. That was the thinking behind it. And fortunately, this year, all the students who will take admission in junior KG or playgroup, right, age after 3, they will get benefit of it. What to teach them? Because in Pune city, I am staying in Pune city, I observe there are Montessori schools going on in small bungalows, small apartments. And what to teach students, it depends upon the teachers and that owner's attitude. It was very vary from school to school. No common platform was there, no common syllabus was there, no examination system was there. Now this is considered seriously by this NEP 2020 committee, and they came out with some suggestions, and now the suggestions started implementation only from this year, June 2024. So this is the first change. First foundation course means first 3 years of Montessori education, and first standard and second standard means up to the age of 8. 3 to 8, that is the foundation course. Then next 3 is class 3, 4, 5. Then next 3, this is primary, class 3, 4, 5 primary. And then higher primary, 6, 7, 8, or middle education, 6, 7, 8, middle education. And then stage 4 means 9, 10, 11, 12, that is school education. 11 and 12, we call it junior colleges in some states or higher secondary in some states. Now that will become part of school education. So school education will be right from 9 to 12. So 12 means up to the age of 18, students will pass out 12th exam and he will be eligible to take admission in higher education. Now, then next stage is higher education, second part chapter of it. First is this school education, primary education, and then second is higher education. So what is this higher education? So higher education expert says that right from age 8 till the student is interested to take his education, there is no age bar, no highest age bar. At any age, student can take admission in higher education. So second object kept by policymakers in higher education is this, that up to 2035, our GER, gross enrollment ratio, should go up to 50%. Now it is average 27% at national level, 26.2 precisely speaking. So near about 27% it is at all India level. Now we would like to increase it up to 50% in coming 15 years. Actually, 2035 is the limit they have given. So if you consider now only 10 years are remaining because it is 2024 is going on. So 2021 years, 10, 11 years only in our hands to reach up to that goal. Because world average of developed countries, GR in higher education is more than 65%. In some states, it is 72%. In some countries, 82%, 72%, it is more than 65% in Western world, in developed world. But in India, it is only 27%, 26.2%. So we need to make it double in coming 10 years, 11 years. And so the role of higher education will increase in coming 10, 15 years, very high level. Because student strength will increase. It is 3.14 crore in 2014. It is become 4.26 crore in 2020, 21, 22. Last 2 years figures still yet to come. But up to 21, 22, it raised by 25%. And so we need to raise it up to 50%. And so in coming days, the responsibility of higher education is very high. Because our GR, we expect 50%. And that's why UGC and NEP policymakers come out with this open education or distance education system. Because there are 45,000, more than 45,000 colleges are working in the country. And policymakers say that they want to bring down these colleges up to 15,000. Why? Because our federal system of education is need to change. This is British system we are following. Now we are going to American system or European system, where no affiliation structure will be there. There will be an autonomous structure. So UGC policymakers and UGC also came out with these documents, so many documents issued by University Grant Commission in last 2 years. You will observe that now they have decided 3 types of universities. One, research-oriented universities. Second, teaching research-intensive universities. Second, teaching-intensive universities. And third is degree-giving colleges. So that is the ultimate aim of our this policy, that every college should be degree-giving college. Once college becomes degree-giving college, responsibility comes on their shoulder. Today, what is happening? Everything is decided by the university. And so if colleges are mismanaged, colleges are misworking, still the students get the university of the same degree. There is no any difference. Colleges which are running properly, colleges which are well run, and colleges which are not well run. The students, those who are coming out of the colleges, taking university of the same. And so it is very difficult to observe then what is the change in between these two students. And so they realize that we need to transfer these responsibilities on colleges' shoulders also. Once responsibility is transferred to colleges' shoulders, colleges will become strong. They will start thinking at their own. I worked more than 25 years in Board of Studies and faculty in Savitribai Phule Pune University, in some other universities. I observed that whatever syllabus is designed at university level, there are a lot of compulsions and lot of limitations, because we need to take into consideration the common student of every college. And so those who are meritorious students, they don't find challenge in our syllabus and say they don't attend our lectures. That was one reason why students are not attending lectures, why absentee is more. Because some meritorious students don't find any challenge. They said, sir, we can read at home and we can pass out. Many students were saying, sir, only 1 month we are preparing before exam and we are getting good result in exam. So that was the tragedy of our education system. And that's why we need to transfer this responsibility on college's shoulder. Unless and until you make your colleges strong, you make your colleges responsible, reliable, proper outcome will not achieve. And that's why this university structure, big umbrella structure, need to shift, need to transfer. And that's why they are saying that there will be a cluster university, there will be a autonomous universities, there will be a deemed university, there will be a private universities. Government is encouraging. In Maharashtra, more than 25 private universities are working today. 11 state universities are working. Central universities are there. Deemed universities are there. So such type of expansion is needed because we have to increase our GER from 26.2 to 50%. So you need more and more educational institutions to come out and to give degrees to the students. And so degree giving colleges, that is our aim in this policy. And when it will come in reality, time will decide. But now big colleges started taking autonomy. UGC also is in favor of giving autonomy to the colleges. It is true that they put certain conditions. They put condition that each college will be accredited and it should have A grade. Accredited A grade college will get autonomous structure immediately. Remaining colleges will be motivated to go for A grade. So accreditation is also compulsory. In Maharashtra, in Karnataka, in Tamil Nadu, in all these states, colleges are eager to go for accreditation. But unfortunately, it is not true in North India. We need to take more efforts in North India for making them aware about the accreditation process. And so government is also thinking to give some benefits to accredited colleges, give some more grants to the accredited colleges. And those, if you are not accredited in our university also, now universities also come out with many compulsions that if you don't have accreditation, you will not get permission to start new division, you will not get permission to start new subject, you will not go for post-graduation teaching. And such compulsions are made because only then colleges will be motivated to go for accreditation. So quality education is needed, and that's why this structure is needed. And 5 objectives of this policy, I would like to explain to all of you that what is the speciality of this policy. If you ask me, there are 5 objectives of this policy. They will explain what is the speciality in this policy. Actually, first 2 are there: accessibility and equity. Accessibility and equity were the objectives in Kothari Commission policy also, in 1986 policy also, 85 policy, which was amended in 1992, 86-92. Accessibility and equity, they were there. But in this policy, they added 3 more objectives. What is this? Accessibility, equity, third is quality. And quality education is need for, if you want to make your country develop, if you want to give leadership to the world, you need quality education. Quality education is needed for giving proper leadership to the world in all fields: cultural field, science field, technology field, administrative field, political field. You need quality education. Fourth is affordability. That is also very important, affordability. Because accessibility is there, equity is there. Because these 2 objectives were kept by Kothari Commission also, by Radhakrishnan Committee also, by new education policy also. These 2 are constant in this NEP 2020 also, but they added 3 more. Third is quality, fourth is affordability, and fifth is accountability. That's why I told you that they want to shift responsibility on colleges, because accountability is very important. If something goes wrong in exam system, we are very easily blaming university authorities. We don't shoulder the responsibility. We don't take responsibility on our own shoulder. Just to blame the authorities, to blame university authorities and go away. So that is not the right way. You should come forward and take responsibility. Then you will come to know how to conduct the exam, how to deliver proper topic to the students, how to make them employable, Unless and until you take responsibility on your shoulder, you will not come to know. And that's why accountability is another. First time this is introduced in education policy anywhere. That teachers are accountable, institutions are accountable, universities are accountable. We are accountable to our students. We are accountable to our society. Because ultimate aim of education is society, equitable, just society. That is ultimate aim discussed in this policy. What is the purpose of education? To design equitable, just policy. And they have developed very proper word that good human beings, to develop good human beings. This is the word they use. The purpose of the education system is to develop good human beings capable of rational thought and action. So good human beings we need to develop through our university and colleges. They are capable for right action and proper thinking. They should not go for suicide. If examination is difficult, tough, student should not go for suicide. We have to make him psychologically strong. That failure doesn't mean that you are failed in all the way of life, all the walk of life. Okay, you failed in mathematics, but you may be good in English. You may be good in Sanskrit. You may be good in political science. You may be good in music. That we need to teach our students. And so we have to make our students psychologically strong. And that's why this accountability means student-teacher interaction will increase when it will come at college level. And that's why central big umbrella of universities, 1,000 colleges are affiliated to university, no proper control, no proper administration. These are the criticism we are observing, we are listening last so many years. So policy come out with this drastic change. This is a radical change. This is the drastic change in education environment is coming in coming days. You will find that no, this affiliation structure will continue in future, and there will be a localization, or there will be a you can say automation to be colleges will be given, and we are observing that in our university. Let me share my experience that when autonomy was given to one college, autonomous structure, we discussed at university level because I was member of the university body at that time. And when topic come for our discussion, shall we give autonomy to this college or not? Some experts said, no, don't give them autonomy. They will set paper in a way, their result will be 100%. Today, their result is 60, 62%. Once you give them autonomy, they will go for 100% result, 90% result. No faith, no belief among our teachers, those who are working in colleges. That was the attitude, or that was the mentality of authorities in the university at that time I observed. But actually, when after fighting and struggling with the university authorities, we were successful in giving autonomy to some colleges in our university. And let me tell you frankly, that when autonomy was given to the colleges, there was a fear in our mind that colleges will misuse this autonomy. They will pass their students in large number. Their result will be more than 90%. When total exam was conducted and results declared, their results came down than university percentage. Why? Because students are knowing that who assessed my paper. Teachers made accountable. Students were aware that who are going to assess my paper. So students are observing whether whatever I written, students know whether it is right or wrong. And when it was properly assessed by the teachers themselves, because there was accountability. And so teachers assessed papers very properly, very thoroughly, very systematically. And then they evaluated the paper and gave marks, and then result come down. So that fear was wrong. Once we give autonomy to our people, they will behave more properly. They will behave with more responsibility. Now they came out with this conclusion that whatever we taught to our students, something is wrong in our teaching methodology also. Why so many students failed? When we took exam and we evaluate our own students, they realized Then re-coaching started, re-teaching started, and then next year results increased. But there was a transparency. Faith of the students in exam system increased. Transparency increased. Teachers' credibility increased. Once you give autonomy, you will achieve all these benefits. And that's why the aim of this NEP 2020 is degree giving colleges. Give them responsibility. They will behave properly. They will behave transparently. Transparency will be there. Then responsibility will be there. And students' faith in exam system will improve. So these are the good results. When you give autonomy to the colleges, see how colleges are working. They are thinking that our students should go to the market. They will be immediately selected. Make them employable. They started giving additional coaching, additional teaching, and this policy says, Patil sir in his introductory remark already highlighted this point, that is skill education. So first is autonomy, to make teachers accountable, to make institutes accountable, to make students also accountable. Autonomy. Second, as I said, that make them employable, skill education. And skill education will come out only if you give interdisciplinary teaching. So third important aspect of this policy is interdisciplinary teaching in higher education. Today we are having very watertight compartment, arts, science, commerce, management, engineering, medical. Now policy says that this type of watertight compartments are not expected. You go for interdisciplinary teaching, you go for interdisciplinary learning. I am an engineering student, but if I have some interest in music, why should not I get some credits of music? And so credit system is introduced. Choice-based credit system, CBCS. Choice-based credit system is a very good methodology for students as well as for teachers as well as for institutions also. If you ask me, it is really beneficial to the students because mobility of the students will increase because of this choice-based credit system. Interdisciplinary learning. Don't keep underwater compartments. After 12th, there will be some major subjects, some minor subjects, and some open elective subjects. In open elective, student will select the subject as per his choice. Engineering student, if want to learn economics, he will study economics. Today, engineering student don't know economics. Medical student don't know economics. I went in one medical college, MBBS student, to give lecture to MBBS student, third year MBBS student about budget. When budget comes in our Pune city, now it has become a practice to invite experts and ask them to deliver lecture on budget performance, budget plus and minus points. So I delivered lecture for medical students in Sassoon Hospital in Pune, a very big PG medical college. And I realized students were not aware about basic principles of economics. And my lecture was arranged for 45 minutes, but we discussed another 45 minutes in question hour session. And it went on up to 1 hour and 30 minutes. Because students were eager to ask questions. They were interested in knowing economic basic things, economic principles. Now, a medical college student can also study economics. Engineering student can also study economics. Art student can study mathematics, can study even commerce, can study even management. And commerce student can study science subject, open elective, biology or microbiology. These subjects are not known to commerce and art students. But if there are some students interested in knowing science subjects, they are free. They are free to select these subjects. That is the meaning of interdisciplinary teaching. Choice-based credit system. Choice means now today choice-based credit system we started implementing. But frankly speaking, whose choice is there? It is the choice of the institution. Because how much subjects institution can afford to teach? On the basis of that, they have framed their own system. But this is starting. Okay for it. We have to go with some compromises in beginning. But ultimate aim of it is the student choice. As per the student choice, we need to teach them subjects. And so this is the crucial point today, because we are following very rigid and very tight compartment structures. And we need to dissolve this and we have to go to this open structure. So some changes will come, some changes will definitely come there, and some trouble will also come, but we need to face that. And we have to find out solutions at our own level. But basic idea behind it is that if you want all-round development of the student, how you can keep all-round development? By keeping water-tight compartments. So keep it open. Let the student learn some subject as per his choice. So some credits are to be given in open elective subjects, where student may select any subject as per his choice, and these credits, whatever he achieve, can be counted for giving his degree. Because if 120 credits need to give degree, he may take 20 credits out of his own choice subject. 100 credits for major and minor subject, for example. So such type of formulas will come out at university level, college level, at national, at state level, everywhere level. They need to think about it. These are the challenges before us while implementing this NEP, but we will come out with proper solutions to it also. I'm sure our young teachers and those who are coming in this field newly, they are capable. I observe that. They are capable to find out solutions to it, and they are capable to give opportunity to our students at maximum level. I cannot say 100%, but some maximum level. They are trying their level best to give maximum choices to their students. So in coming 2-3 years, you will come to know how one student will become BSc or BA or BCom. He will have some subject as per his choice, and some credits he might have achieved in it, which will be beneficial to him for his enjoyment of life also, not only employability. Employability is one part of it, but that is not the 100% aim of our education system to make him employable. These are not our training schools or training colleges. We are giving basic education, and basic education is needed to enjoy successful life. What will be his social life? His successful life depends upon his social life. And so we need to develop these attitudes among our students, that you are also a part and parcel of society. Society is doing something for you today. You need to do something for society tomorrow. This social awareness program also we need to run. Today we are running this through NSS camps, through social development programs, but that will become part of your curriculum. That will become part of our syllabus. So that is expected in higher education system, that accountability, quality is needed. And this objective is thoroughly discussed by the policymakers, that quality at all levels, not quality of few, quality of all, quality of common student. We need to improve quality of our common student also. Unless and until we improve quality of all, you will not get qualitative society. If qualitative society is our way, where social awareness is there, where respect about seniors is there, where apathy is there, where love and affection is there, these are the qualities you want to develop among our students. First, you need to develop it in their college life, school life. In European countries or in America, it is taught to the students in colleges that you are for society. We are also teaching through our NSF and social activities program, trips, cultural program, but that is not enough. We need to highlight more on it, that you are Indians. First, you are Indians. And first, you are Indians, so respect your country, respect your national important things, respect the teachers. Acharya Devo Bhava, we teach, this is our culture, Indian culture. Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. That is our philosophy. That is our culture. We believe in family system. And family system is our strongness. This is our strength. Because ultimate success and ultimate satisfaction of the life you get through family structure only. only careeristic approach, individualistic approach will not give you final satisfaction. So you need to success also need to define what is success. What is successful life? We need to throw light on it also. Sarvepi sukhina santu, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kachid dukhamapnuyet. This is our mantra. Sarvepi sukhina santu. All should progress. All should develop. All should enjoy quality life. That is our prayer. And another is given in our Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita. What is taught in Bhagavad Gita? We never taught our students in our school life or college life. We need to teach that. So Bharat-centric education, that is the aim of this NEP 2020. What is Bharat-centric education? What are your plus points? What are your strength points? Explain your students through your syllabus. Explain your students through your curriculum. That karmanye vadika raste ma phaleshu kadachan. What Bhagavad Gita says. What is karmanye vadika raste ma phaleshu kadachan? You do your duty first. Do your duty in well manner. Don't think about rewards of it. Today what we are thinking? First we are thinking about what? What I will get. If I do that, what I will get? That is the first question comes, which is wrong attitude. First do your duty best. Quality work you do. If you do quality work, if you do quality duty, you will get proper reward of it. कर्मण्येवाधिकार रास्ते मां फलेषु कदाचन. फल की चिंता मत करो. दिया हुआ काम, सौंपा हुआ काम जिम्मेदारी से करो. Do your duty by honest way. If you are doing honestly any work, you will get reward of it. No doubt about it. That is discussed in our literature many years. In Mahabharata, in Ramayana, or in all other shlokas, sadhu, sant, they discuss all these things. That society development is also aim, not only individual development. Individual development, family development, society development. You go on increasing this. Yes, you definitely develop yourself, no doubt about it. Unless until you are developed, you will not develop others. So first you should develop. Your potentials will come out. So this is the policy says that this is the role of teachers to come out, to develop his potentials. What is his strength? What are his good points? Tell the students, interact with the students, and make him strong to face all the problems in his life. He will stand on his feet own. He will be employable definitely. He will start his own business, or he will do service somewhere where skill education is needed. Today, artificial intelligence is coming. What is 21st century problem? Artificial intelligence, machine learning. Now, World Economic Survey says that there will be no job for unskilled persons in future. Unskilled jobs will be done by machines. You don't require human power for that. Cleaning or washing, these jobs will be done by machines. You don't require any manpower for that. And so there will be employment opportunity only skilled persons. Those who are skilled, they will get employment in future. This is 21st century challenge. This is 21st century demand. Recently, German delegation came in India and they discussed with Indian education minister. And they discussed that we want 4 lakh students in coming some years in Germany. And so you deploy your Indians. So education minister asked them, why you want Indians only? Because there are some other countries also. So you came in Delhi discussing with us and you want 4 lakh persons from India. Definitely we'll try to support you. Definitely we'll try to supply this manpower to you. But he said there are 2 conditions. What are the 2 conditions? One, he must know German language first. So give them German language education. And second, he must be skilled in some field. Unskilled persons we don't want. We want skilled persons. Even driver will do better. Okay, we want drivers, good drivers. but they must know German language. And so NEP 2023 language formula came out with from 6th standard. NEP 2020 says that primary education, foundation course and primary education, preferably in mother tongue. Preferably in mother tongue, because there are so many English medium schools all over the country. So solve this problem, they come out with this vision that preferably primary education and foundation means right from age 3 to age 8 should be in mother tongue. From 6th standard means from 8 to 11, from age 11, 3 language formula means mother tongue, any other state language and any other foreign language, not necessarily English. Today we have 3 language formula, mother tongue, Hindi, national language and third English. But now there is a radical change will come out that all students may not learn English, all students may not learn Hindi. They will go some other state language. Means Marathi student will learn Bengali second language or will learn German as a foreign language, not necessarily English. So this purposely NEP 2020 suggested 3 language formula because world is coming nearer, world is becoming big village, global village. And in global village, if you want to go to Germany, you need to learn German. Why you are learning English then? Learn German and make expert in some skill, develop some skill amongst you. And then if you are graduated with one skill and one foreign language, you are 100% employable. World is waiting for you. What is our strength? You know, India is a young country. Our 80% population is below 50. So our young population, even 70% population is below 30. So if you read this population survey, India is, compared to other countries in the world, is a young country. Say, Japan is becoming old, America is becoming old, but India is having young people in more in population ratio. And so world is welcoming us, world is ready to welcome all our young generation, but we need to develop some skills among them and we need to develop some foreign language among them. And that is NEP 2020 says that give them one foreign language education. And that's why student can decide at the age of when he is in 6th standard, he can decide where I want to work. If you want to work in Japan, study Japanese, Spain, Spanish, or if you want to go America or England or Australia, New Zealand or some European countries, okay, you go English. But Spanish you can learn, Russian you can learn, Chinese you can learn. You know, in between China, there was a tremendous demand. One ad I saw 10,000 teachers, English teachers they needed, 10,000. So it will increase demand in future also. Because India is having strength of English teachers more. So there is opportunity to our young generation to go abroad and to earn money. And so internationalization of education is the chapter in NEP 2020. Central government said that you go for internalization, keep your door open to foreign students. Let the foreign students come in India, learn in India, or make MOUs with foreign countries. And some, you can say, two-party sharing is possible. That you can go to Australian University, come on, make MOU. 3 years they will learn in India, 1 year they will learn Australia. Our teachers sharing, our teachers will go to Australia, teach there, their teachers will come in India, they will teach us. Such type of teacher sharing, student sharing is possible in coming days. And so this is new avenue. We never thought of it when we were the teacher, I was the teacher. We never thought about it. But today these doors are open. That today's student will get an opportunity to learn some subject from foreign teachers also. They will be invited by your institution here and student will get benefit of it. Or online learning. Now UGC has come out with circular that 40% your syllabus you should complete on online learning. No need to come to college. Online learning, distance learning, open universities. They are encouraged. Now every university is asked to keep their distance learning portal open to their students. So this is challenge also, because college's strength will be affected if students will go for distance learning or online learning. But you need to develop your educational institution such a way so that institutional development plan, IDP, that is also UGC come out with circular, IDP 2021. Institutional development plan, you need to develop that, where you will be institution after 5 years, where you will be institution after 10 years. You need to develop your plan. Go for infrastructure development, go for facilities, and go for knowledge development. So that is also expected in IDP, NEP 2020. So interdisciplinary teaching to our students, make them employable, even they can go abroad and serve there. Make your education at internationalization, international level, quality education at international level. Some foreign students will be attracted to India, right from Southeast Asia or Middle East countries, because our education is affordable in India compared to Western countries or European countries. Our education is more affordable to them, and so they will come in India, they will take admissions in Indian universities and Indian colleges, and therefore in every university you will find there is an international center in every university. And so international students, they will come in large number in India, they will learn here, so we will get foreign money. And our educational strength will come to know the world also. I forgotten one, I said no, the German delegation came to Delhi, and when education minister asked them, why you want Indians only when Pakistanis are there, Bangladesh, Chinese are there? You came to India and expected that Indians should come in lakhs number to Germany. So what was the answer? The minister was also surprised to know. They said, Indians are very sincere. They are very honest. And so we want Indians in large number in our country. See our value at world level. So minister said it was shocking to me, because we are observing your mass copy cases and all this squad, a different squad we are appointing at time of exams, etc. But at national, international level, those Indians went abroad, worked there. They worked very honestly. They were very hard workers. They contributed in their economic development. And that's why the experience of Indians at world level is very good. So Indians are welcome at world level because they are basically sincere. They are very physically hard worker. They are honest. These are our strength points. Thanks to that. And we need to inculcate all these qualities among our students. Be honest, be sincere, be social, having social attitude, be a social worker. Everyone should be social worker. Think about an environment, our environment, how to intact our environment. Our farmers are taking care of it. Why our youngsters and studied or educated person should take it? We should take serious note of environment challenge, and we should try to help to make our environment more strengthening, more environmental atmosphere to create. Everybody's responsibility. So tree plantation, etc., all these programs we can do it in our colleges through our social work line. So multi-level development of our students, all-round development of our student is the aim of education. What Swami Vivekananda said. And this all-round development, multi-development, make him strong, make him employable, and he will develop his own faith that, yes, I will do something. I took education through schools and colleges, and that education is helpful to me to face the challenge in my life, to face the challenge in society. And this is we have shown. See the beauty of our Indian democracy. All other countries nearer to us where there is democracy, either there is a military rule or there is a king rule. But India last 75 years shown progress in our democracy. Our voting percentage is 60-65%. We need to go beyond that. It will increase slowly. But we have shown that we have conducted elections silently, smoothly, efficiently. Though there are some criticism It will go on. Those who are defeated, they will criticize government. Those who are in government, they will criticize the opposition. वो तो चलता रहे. That is the beauty of democracy. All will not speak in one mouth. Everybody has his own mouth. Everybody is speaking differently. But finally, they believe in democracy. They believe in elections. They contest, all parties contested election, and you see result. Indian voters are so mature. They give very perfect verdict. Everybody got share as per his own performance. So that is the strength. Dr. Baba, thanks to Dr. Baba Ambedkar, he gave constitution to us. And that constitution finally is the strength of our democracy. Constitution is the strength of our democracy. So we must believe in our constitution. We must respect our constitution. We need to teach our students in schools and colleges all these things. What is our constitution? Be respectful to that and try to behave that. Be a citizen, good citizen. We have to develop good citizens. That is said in this policy document. What policy document says? See, that being capable. The purpose of the education system is to develop good human beings capable of rational thoughts and actions, possessing compassion and empathy, courage and scientific temper, and creative imagination with sound ethical morals and values. Ethical values are equally important. And we have observed this, that though there are so many criticisms in the election system, but our Indian voter is really matured voter, and he voting properly in all different elections. Beauty, different political parties are ruling in different states. Different political parties are ruling at central level. Now, not one ruling party is ruling all over the country. This is the beauty of democracy. In some states, some regional parties are there. In some state, Congress party is there. In some state, BJP is there. At central level, coalition government is there. So this is our achievement. 75 years we achieved this. And so we need to teach our students our constitution also, constitutional values also, respect, ethical values. Unless and until we improve all these qualities among our students, the education is not then successful. So NEP 2020 expects that implement this education system in such a way that all these qualities will develop among the students, and student-centric education, Bharat-centric education, Indian values, Indian ethos, we need to teach our students through our curriculum. What was the greatness of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj? What was the greatness of Rana Pratap? What was the greatness of Rabindranath Tagore, Swami Vivekananda, Lokmanya Tilak? Tell our students. Very experts and very enriched personalities we have in our history. Try to explain their values, their ethicalness, their society contribution to our students. And so whole great India will come up, and India will give leadership to the world also. So many our Indians are giving already in the leadership list at multinational companies in USA, in UK, in Australia. Multinational companies, if you see their managing director, their CEO, they are Indians. So slowly, it will come in all fields and all wake of life. So I expect with this proper implementation, teacher's role is really important. Unless and until teachers are aware, unless and until teachers are enthusiastic in implementation of this NEP, we will not get fruits of this NEP. To derive proper fruits of NEP and to make our students' life in future enjoyable, successful life, teacher's role is very important. Teacher's contribution is very important. So I expect that after studying 2 weeks workshop on NEP 2020, you will go with proper commitment of implementation of NEP 2020 in your own colleges, in your own classes, and try to achieve objectives of it, so we can see a developed country, developed India with our own eyes. With this expectation, I conclude my words here. Wish you all the best, and thank you very much again for listening me patiently. And thank you to the organizers for giving me an opportunity to share my views here. Thank you. Jai Hind. Thank you, sir. It is 4 o'clock. Director, sir, who is in the chair? Sir, Rafael, sir. So anybody will conclude or vote of thanks? Sir, sir, hello, hello. Sir, I finished lecture. So just you are there, no? Yes, okay, okay. Please continue. Do you have any questions, friends? There are 41 participants.
So any questions from the participant sides? They can unmute and ask. I have given the permission to unmute you. Roll number 50.
No questions, sir.
Okay. So if there are no questions, we can conclude with this session. Yes, Vijay. Yes, Vinit. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Kulkarni, sir. It was very nice session. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude. I just wanted to ask you, and I have previously discussed this issue with many of the resource person who talk about the NEP 2020. My doubt is that the objective of NEP is very good. The system of education and the things which we are going to collaborate are very good, need to be done in appropriate manner. But whether this system, whether this education policy, when we are going to make the 99% institution autonomous, will the objective of a charitable education would be there? Means a poor student would be eligible to get education in a small fee?
Yes, sure, definitely. Because if you see financing of education, they discuss a lot. Present scholarships will go on. On the contrary, it will increase. Actually, it is our demand as a teachers union that you should spend 6% of GDP on education. Right from Kothari Commission, we are demanding it. Now, Prime Minister already promised in the Parliament that we are with this demand, we are with this NEP 2020, and NEP document also said that 6% education GDP you must spend on education. So in coming days, you will find that research fellowships will increase. Now 20,000 crores in the Parliament when Arun Jaitley was Prime Minister, he Finance Minister, he made provision of 20,000 crores for UGC research proposals. Now they are thinking to establish NRF, National Research Foundation, and all NRF will come out in coming 2-3 months, I think, because Modi government already came out. So they will continue their own policies. And so NRF, that is the promise given by old finance minister. It will continue in new budget also. When July budget will come in the Parliament, I expect that they will declare some amount. And new teachers, those who are going for research, because research intensive university is also their aim. At present, there is no any research intensive university. It will come out now. And so teachers will get benefit of it, that they will get scholarships for research and foundation. And students also, those who are doing PG courses. And you know, there are 5 years PG degree program they have introduced, 4-year degree and 1-year PG. So 5-year degree PG course, if they select, they will go for this degree automatically. And this grantable education or affordable education is also a aim of this policy. And so those who are below poverty line, they will definitely get free education or concessional education or very normal fee they need to pay for it. Today, Maharashtra Education Minister in Maharashtra declared that he is going to make education free to the women's girl student whose income is less than 8 lakh. Means whose income is annual income is less than 8 lakh. All such girls, in spite of caste, creed, and religion, they will get free education. So this is also a good thing that women education or low learner, slow learners education, they are going to help it definitely. So don't keep any fear in mind that those who are economically poor or economically backward, there are certain provisions in present structure. It will continue. On the contrary, it will increase. And so students will not be away from education because he don't have money. So money will not be the problem for education. Every student will get affordable is the criteria. Equity, accessibility, affordability. So they have to make it affordable and they will get scholarships. A meritorious student, economically backward students are definitely enjoying. SC, ST caste, scheduled tribe students, OBC students are already enjoying free shifts and scholarships. It will continue. So no need, there is no fear.
Thank you very much, sir. But still, I have listened or in many of the meeting and discussion which came in my perseverance. I may be wrong also. Okay, the autonomous institution are in the mindset to increase the fee structure, and they says we become now autonomous. We are having our own autonomy. So it means we are absolutely having discretion to make changes and do the things in our hand. So will there be any control over the fee increasement or decreasement?
Yes, sure. There is a fee regulation authority, FRA. It is suggested by UGC also. It is also suggested by state universities. There will be a fee regulation authority. All unaided colleges or private colleges, they need to go for fee FRA committee first. They have to submit their expenditure, and on the basis of their last year expenditure, their fee is finalized. If some college is saying we want 3 lakh fee, it may not be accepted. They will observe their expenditure and then the fee regulation authority will fix their fee and only that fee they can take. And though fee is in lakhs of rupees, scholarships are there to the backward and needy students, poor students, economically poor and socially backward students will enjoy free shifts, scholarships. And so whatever fee is there, government will pay their fee. Student will need not worry about it. So today also in Maharashtra, 45, there are engineering colleges and all engineering colleges, 50% students fee. Government is paying. It may be 3 lakh, it may be 2 lakh, whatever it is decided by FRA, Fee Regulation Authority, the fee is paid by the government. It is reimbursed by the government to the colleges. The student need not pay any rupee for that. So there is no
Thank you, sir.
fear, always it will continue. Social commitments are there and social commitments will continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Any other?
Yes, any more questions? So if no questions are there, we can conclude this session here. So on behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada Institute, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, my special thanks to Principal Dr. Anil Kulkarni sir for sparing his valuable time and inaugurating this 12th NEP orientation sensitization course. So I now declare this session is over. We will take a break of 10 minutes and we will gather here for the next session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Within 5 to 10 minutes, we will have another lecture. Just be patient for till that time, 5 to 10 minutes only. Ma'am, can you share your biodata? Anything on WhatsApp to me? If it is available easily, you can share it so I can read it out. Kindly unmute, ma'am. Kindly unmute yourself.
Okay, hello. Good evening, sir.
Good
Anyway,
evening.
no issue, sir. You can introduce. I'm also part of, your community working
Yes,
in
yes,
Malvia
yes.
Mission. So,
So, on behalf of UGC Malvia Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, I'm really happy to share today's resource person's introduction, Dr. Kyunda Risi Kharbuli. If I have pronounced it wrong, I'm really sorry for that. She is a PhD in zoology from Northeastern Hill University, and she has vast teaching and research experience of more than 27 years in Department of Zoology and Political Science in Northeastern Hill University, and also Department of Zoology, Department of Nanotechnology, and Department of Sociology. Training of Higher Education Institute, she is working for past 15 years in Malvia Mission Teachers Training Center, which was formerly known as Academic Staff College and Human Resource Development Center of the same Northeastern Hill University. She has conducted around 72 programs and trained around 3,000 teachers. She has delivered over 500 lectures and also contributed in paper publication and paper presentation. So indeed, it is really an honor and pleasure for all of us. She has also compiled some SWAM courses in LMS model of 2 credit and Foundation of R software 4 credit and descriptive statistics with R software with 3 credits. So indeed, it is really a pleasure and honor for me to introduce a person who belongs to our Malviya Mission Teachers Training family. So again, I welcome ma'am, and I'm really thankful that on this short notice you have accepted our invitation. Same I have conveyed to my director also. Thanks a lot, and I would now hand over the session to him. Ma'am, you can conclude as per your convenience. I'm going in an administrative work. You can conclude as per your convenience.
Thank you very much, sir, for
Okay.
giving me this opportunity, and I'm really happy that I can share, some thoughts on this topic, that is student diversity and inclusive education. And I'm hopeful that it would help our teachers to help somehow in improving ourselves as far as NEP is concerned. So, sir, like I can speak in English, no, sir, no issues, no. Okay. Dear teachers, am I audible? Am I audible to all of you? Teachers, am I audible to all of you? Okay, thank you very much. Can I speak in English if you don't mind? Because my Hindi is not very good, so I don't want to, create any confusion in the language. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your kindness. Okay, let me share the screen with all of you. One second. Is it shared? Is it shared with all of you? Kindly. Okay, thank you very much. So, of course, I got a phone call just about 5 to 10 minutes ago, and Professor Rafi had requested me to speak, on this very important program that is on the NEP 2020 sensitization and orientation program for our teachers of higher education. And sir told me that I can speak on any topic. So anyway, I thought let me speak on this topic on student diversity and inclusive education. So if we speak about this particular topic, that is student diversity and inclusive education, of course, in our very own classroom, we know that our classroom is always diverse. It is never the same. However, when we look at NEP 2020, it encourages us teachers to ensure that all our students are not left out. So that's why it speaks about inclusive education. So now, how would you understand that there is indeed a diversity within the classroom? And how can you improve that type of education where each and every student gets the best out of our teaching? So now let me just ask a very simple question amongst my friends. Wait one second. Let me just write something here. So suppose if I ask you a question, do you see, extreme behaviors in your classroom? You can type in the chat box, yes or no. Do you experience extreme behaviors in your classroom? You can put it in the chat box because I want this to be more, interactive. Yes or no? What would be your answer? Okay, so Sir Sankar Kumbakonam has mentioned that no, he does not experience any extreme behaviors in his classroom. That means you mean to say that all students, are uniform as far as the behavior is concerned, whereas Sir Gaurav Kumar is saying yes. Okay. Mostly not. Okay. Then any more answers? Okay. Yes, most of the time. Okay. So see here itself from your very answers, we can see that your answers are very diverse. Some of us, we experience, extreme extremely, some of us like, rarely. So when we talk about extreme behaviors, you will see that, yes, there are who are very hyper. There would be students who are extremely quiet, and the rest of the students are just okay. So that's why these extreme behaviors are rare. And when you speak in terms of statistics, if we look at the, normal distribution, okay, this is where we get the bell-shaped curve. Okay, where you would get these, outliers, that is the hyper and the quiet on one extreme end, whereas the rest of the students are normal as far as their behavior is concerned. So, of course, from here we can understand that, yes, there is very much diversities, but amongst this diversity also, you can see that there is a very gradual, display of the diversity within this larger chunk of population in your classroom. However, we do have rarely some which are over compared to the rest in terms of, their behavior within the classroom. So now, after having spoken about diversity, now we do understand what diversity is. So now suppose if we leave this, okay, we leave this out. Now we talk only about the normal behavior. Again, when we talk about this normal behavior, do you experience that there is some difference? There is some difference within this normal behavior also, right? Probably it may be evidence, or probably it may not be as evidential. So here comes the biggest question of how do we try to manage this difference within this behavior. So now let me come to the most important part, that is when you look at your students' performance. When we talk about student performance. Now, when we speak about student performance again, do you see any differences when we speak about students' performance? Okay, I'm asking you another question. When we speak about students' performance, do you see any difference? Yes, I can see Dr. Patil answering yes. Okay, Dr. Shukla again saying yes. So this is something that is very, very obvious. This is something which is very, very obvious, where we see that again there is a diversity. Now, when you compare again, you will see that those students who are outperforming the rest, whereas some you will see that there are students who are underperforming, right? And again, the rest you would see that they are average. So what would be the percentage of the outperforming students? Is it high? Is it high or is it low? You can write in the chat box, is it high or low? As well as the underperforming students, is it high in numbers or low in numbers? Very true, right? 1 to 2%. Okay, so we all agree, but majority of the students would be on the average, right? So again, suppose we leave this out and we talk only about the average. Again, amongst the average, there is a gradual, differences as far as the performance is concerned. And how do we understand these? We understand these in terms of their marks or in terms of the grades that they obtain, right? So here we do see some answers to it, because these results are obtained from their marks and the grades. But when we talk about the normal behavior, when we talk about the behaviors of the students, have we been able to come up with a standardized tool to inform us that yes, there is truly a gradual difference in the behaviors of the students? While as far as performance is concerned, yes, we are being evidenced by the marks or the grades that the students obtain. So now, let me go back to the slide. Let me go back to the slides. Okay, so we're talking about student diversity and inclusive education. So before I come to this topic, that is innovative pedagogical approaches to teaching and learning in light of NEP 2020, let us first understand how can we teachers contribute? How can we teachers contribute to this, diversity within our classroom? What are the type of diversities that we can tackle? And what are the type of diversities that are not within our hands? And how can we ensure that every student is included within the learning outcome, vision of the NEP 2020. So now, when we talk about the program, that is this MMTTP program, now we have been given with 8 themes to talk on, and within these 8 themes, again, there are sub-themes. So within this particular theme, that is the student diversity and inclusive education, the sub-themes involves understanding diversity. So first and foremost, we have to understand diversity and link this diversity to inclusion. So in the first few minutes, we spoke about diversity. How do we understand this diversity? And how can we link this diversity to inclusion? How can each and every student can be treated at par with the rest of the students? Is it nature or is it nurture? Because I'm from the field of zoology with a specialization in genetics. So this nature nurture thing really, intrigues me, and I try to understand it from my classroom point of view. Now, the second theme is developing learner-centric practices, skills, and support system. So when you talk about the genetics behind, are the genes playing a very important role in the IQ of a student, in the intelligence quotient of a student? Now, obviously, when we try to compare how much does the environment, that means the nature, how much does the environment or the nature has its own effect on the nurture, that is on the genes? Do we teachers have to put in a lot of effort in the way we teach in the classroom so that every child is included at par with the rest as far as the performance is concerned? And now the third theme is that teacher competencies towards diversity and inclusion. So if we are not competent, then as teachers, what is required of us to do in order to make us more competent in understand this diversity and link the diversity to inclusion? So I will talk about these 3 step by step. Now, when we talk about the national education policy, I think most of us must have gone through the National Education Policy 2020 document, maybe many a times. And the document, which is a 60-page document, again, brings out the scenario of the education system right from the school education to the higher education. And within this document, it does impresses on the ecosystem of the education system to ensure that no child is left out. So that's why it is also popularly known as the education for the of students or children. So it speaks about gender identities, socio-cultural identities, geographical identities, disabilities, which include learning disabilities and the socio-economic conditions. Now, I want to ask you one question. Within your institution, is there a barrier for students who falls under these categories? So this is the question that I want to ask you. Among the projected socially, economically disadvantaged groups, okay, groups which of those are barred at the institutional level. Okay, at the institutional level. So let me show you again the slides. Which of these? Gender? Do you have gender barrier within your institutions? Yes or no? What about gender? Is your institution barrier as far as gender is concerned? Okay, nice to see. Almost all of you are saying no. What about the socio-cultural identities? What about the socio-cultural identities? Yes or no? Again, you're saying no. Okay. Okay, then what about the geographical identities? What about the geographical identities? Yes or no? Does your institution brings in the barrier on these? What about disabilities or children with special needs? Does your institution have a barrier for these also? Okay, so you are saying yes. Okay, fine. Okay, some are saying no and some are saying yes. I'm happy that, there's so much of interaction both ways. What about the socio-economic conditions? Is your institution, offering too high a fee, a course fee that students from the socio-economic weaker background are having, difficulties? See, most of you are saying yes again, right? So at the institutional level, you have self-assess yourself and how much are we, trying to help out with these different categories of the disadvantaged group in our institution. This is not in the hands of the teachers. There is nothing that we can do. That's why I started with this, because now I want all of us to self-assess and focus on ourselves. Do we create an environment? Let me write it down here. Let me write it down here. Do we create an environment within our classroom where we consciously or subconsciously, act as a barrier to these categories of disadvantaged groups? Okay, this is the question that we need to pose before us as teachers. Sorry, okay, it doesn't matter. Let me put it here. We need to try to self-assess ourselves. Okay, we need to try to self-assess ourselves. Now, let us start with the first one. That is gender. Are we biased within a classroom as far as gender is concerned? We need to self-assess ourselves. We need to be honest with ourselves. If we are not honest with ourselves, if we do not self-assess ourselves, then we would never be able to embrace the NEP 2020 as far as student diversity and inclusive education is concerned. So you can honestly put in, a yes or a no as far as gender is concerned. This is from our very own individual perspective, yes or no. Do we have that tendency to be biased as far as, treating the gender within a classroom like, uniformly? Okay, we're saying no. Fine. we are being honest with ourselves. But again, when you go back to your classroom, try to rethink. Try to rethink over and over again. Now, when we talk about the socio-cultural identities, what about the socio-cultural identities? But look at the way the newspapers project over and over again how students, because we look differently from each other, and how we are being treated within the classroom. Probably in this platform, all of us teachers, we may not have this sort of, a biasness within a classroom. However, it does exist in our educational, especially the higher education ecosystem across the countries. Otherwise, these would have not reflected, especially in the newspapers. Again, geographical identities. Do we have some sort of biasness within the classroom? Do we, tend to have that, that lens, that eyepiece that look at our student differently as far as their geographical identities is concerned? Okay, again, we're seeing more. Now, even if you look at the situation that is happening in the United States, more and more, disturbing news are being, released every month, especially in this year as of how our students who have gone with great passion to learn so much in a country like the US, how they are being treated. You see, we do not realize this. It does exist within our ecosystem. So that's why we need to really, really talk to ourselves over and over again as teachers on how we can tone down the gap in terms of all these different types of disadvantaged group. Because if these were not categorized, then we would not have, been able to assess and scale ourselves. And I'm very, very thankful to ma'am, to Anjum Khan, and also to Shagufta Nagar for being honest. This is very, very true within us. Sometimes we tend to be subjective. So how can we bring in that reformation, that transformation within a classroom where every individual is treated with an equal eye as a teacher? So we need to understand the guidelines for the socio-economically disadvantaged group. That's why ask yourself, again, self-assess yourself. How many of you have gone through the guidelines that have come up on SEDG, socially and economically disadvantaged group? How many of you? Your answer would be yes, have you gone through, or no, you have not gone through. Please, can you give your answer in the chat box? Okay, I can see again. So Sankar saying no. What about the others? Have you gone through? No. Okay. So how, yes, I can see one has gone through. Okay, but the majority have not gone through. So that's why, how can we carry this NEP 2020 way forward if we teachers do not make ourselves aware? If we teachers do not make ourselves more knowledgeable on what exactly does the NEP 2020 wants out of us. That's why it is very, very important to go through the guidelines on the socially, economically disadvantaged groups. What does it say? What are the different types of disadvantaged groups? Has it been able to identify and categorized? Okay, so we can see where gender, socially backwardness, educational and economic backward identity, minority identity, persons with disabilities and benchmark disabilities, vulnerable and low socio-economic conditions, okay, less developed, poor access and disadvantaged locations. Then again, the next question is, how many of us have gone through the acts? How many of us have gone through the acts and policies, especially the acts and policies for people or children with disabilities? Again, transgender person, protecting rights, how many of us have gone through? If only we are aware of these acts. Again, you are saying yes or no. So again, if you are aware of these acts, then it helps us to, better ourselves as far as bringing in that reformation and transformation within our classroom. So if we look at the National Sample Survey, whether it is disabilities, whether it is the transgender, whether it is the socio-economic, again, probably like how I started with understanding diversities. What would be the percentage of these groups within the classroom? So within your classroom also, you need to get at least a survey from your administration. At least it gives you an idea of what is the percentage of the students that I have within my classroom as far as these different groups or categories are concerned. So I've spoken about this. So what is the reservation for these students or children, especially children with special needs within our institution? So before we start any session, especially in the first year, and now with multiple entry, again, probably every year you need to find out from your administration, do I have these category of students within my classroom, and what is the percentage of these students within my classroom? Then only now I come to creating an innovative pedagogy. How innovative is my pedagogical approach, and can I bring in the evaluation reform so that I can understand my students' diversity within a diversity group and create the evaluation in such a way that my student exhibit the highest learning outcome, and in the end they are treated, they are treated in such a way that I bring in the equity. That means every individual have their own special need. We said that students with special need. You will realize that every individual, every student have their own special need. And have I designed my pedagogy in such a way that I have been able to address to each and every special need, thus integrating equity within my classroom. So how many of you have gone through, this very interesting guideline, on innovative pedagogical approaches and evaluation reforms? How many of us have gone through this guideline? Can you please give your answer? Yes or no? Have you gone through it? Yes or no? Guidelines on innovative. Oh, that's great. Yes, yes. I can see most of our teachers, because this guideline has come up in, September 2022. If I'm not mistaken, I think it came up in September 2021, or yeah, I think September 2021. So of course, now with almost 3 years passing, I'm happy that many of us teachers have gone through it. And this is the guiding principle on how we can create such type of a pedagogical approach towards our teaching and learning. So now, when we look at the objective of this guideline, we can see that it it has three main objectives. One is, what is our pedagogical approach? What is the strategy to ensure that our pedagogical approach is accepted, is relevant to the classroom? And if not, how can we bring in improvement, that is the capacity building? So when we teach within the classroom, we have to understand the importance of the learning needs. So that when you teach a subject, you will realize that, again, there is a diversity within our entire basket of topics that we are teaching. So our approaches will differ depending on the learning needs. Then again, our mode of teaching will again differ, whether we teach physically, blended, or online. And ultimately, within this approach to our pedagogy, do we ensure that the students exhibit that kind of learning outcome? Do we need to integrate collaboration, cooperation, creation, co-creation? So these are the things that we need to self-assess ourselves. So how do we define pedagogy? Now, this is the art of how we express a knowledge within a classroom. And do you think that, again, there is a diversity? Is it dynamic or is it static? You will realize that a teacher teaches the same topic. However, the art of providing knowledge or sharing knowledge for that very same topic, do we differ from one teacher to another? Yes or no? Do we differ or not? Does the art of sharing knowledge differ from classroom to classroom? Does it differ from teacher to teacher? Does it differ from institution to institution? And you all are saying yes. Now let me ask you one very critical question. You are teaching a topic. Okay? Do you differ in sharing the knowledge from year I'm teaching the same topic, but do I change? Do I vary in my teaching that very same topic which I have taught for the 10 past years? Does it vary from year to year? Yes or no? Teachers? See, we all agree to it. Okay, some of you are saying sometimes, but we all agree to it. That means if we do agree to it, that means we teachers are dynamic. Now, this topic, I have been talking since 2021, September, maybe November, December 2021. However, in this past 3 years, in this past 2.5 years, the very same topic that I have been talking from one classroom to another, it is not static. It has been dynamic. Okay, in the case of Shagufta, she says accordingly learner's attitude. Very true. But in my case, in your case, you can still make a comparison because these learners are there, for 4 years, for 3 years with you. But in my case, my teachers come and go for just one session. However, when I reflect back, I realize that there was something amiss in the last session. That's why I try to improve, where I become more innovative, more creative to ensure that the learning increases. So you see, so that's why we teachers are never static. We are dynamic. So that's why, what are the reformations? What are the transformations that are taking place as far as the NEP 2020 is concerned? Okay, now our teaching learning system has changed, totally changed. Now imagine you are teaching the electives earlier, for so many years, we have been teaching only our subject. We are experts only in our subject. But with the NEP 2020, it is bringing in a transformation where you have to bring in the electives, skill enhancement courses, multidisciplinary courses, value-added courses, ability enhancement courses. Are we equipped? Did we create the right kind of courses? Does it sync with the core courses, that is the major and the minor? So you see, reflection is very, very important. And NEP 2020 gives us what? It gives us the freedom to reorient, to revamp the curricula as well as the pedagogy to ensure that it is a learner-centric curricula, a learner-centric pedagogy, ensuring that your students are holistically developed. They have the comprehensive knowledge of the entire program outcome of the first semester. The courses outcome within the program outcome of your first semester. You have taught them the values and the requisite life skill. So as teachers, how much are we contributing to this vision of NEP 2020? Now, what type of teaching styles are we having within a classroom? See, I myself can evaluate myself, self-evaluation. You are also evaluating me. Do I have this traditional teaching style or a progressive teaching style? Am I, integrating you, immersing you within this discussion that I'm having with you at the moment? Which type are you a follower? A behaviorism, constructivism, a social constructivism, or a liberationism? Now, when we talk about traditional, okay, more and more we are running away from it. Okay, from the teacher-centric way of learning, we are trying to adopt the learner-centric teaching. Again, are we bringing in the social constructivism where we create groups within the classroom throughout the entire semester and ensure that each group has an interesting experiential learning? And at the same time, maybe once in a while, do we allow our students to play the role of the teacher? Now, this is one example that I gave last time. Now we know that students know, when you look at the entertainment, industry, students know more about the K-pop than we do. Now, suppose you're teaching political science. A student who is, immersed in K-pop will have that kind of knowledge from the political science background as far as K-pop is concerned. Why are the K-pop now, taking over the entertainment industry in comparison to the other, bands? US was very famous, Bollywood was famous, but why are these now taking? What is the politics behind? What is the economics behind? What is the history behind? So liberationalism, there are students who would have more knowledge than us teachers. Do we give them a platform where they are able to give us the knowledge, to teach us the knowledge? Okay, society is saying no. Can we start? Can we be more innovative in a classroom? Society, we are saying no. Can we be more innovative? Can we be more creative so that we have that learning in the classroom? Society? Yes or no? Okay. So, followers. So, you see, if we can adopt, that means we are displaying that our pedagogy, our art of sharing knowledge is a constantly evolving process. It is not static, it is dynamic, and it can be modified from time to time. And why are we modifying? Why are we making this pedagogy dynamic? Because of our care and concern for our students. We develop it to fit the target audience, like one of you had mentioned earlier. Okay, very interesting. Accordingly, learner attitude. You see, so here we are trying to fit in towards the target audience, and we want to ensure that we are helping the students, giving them that environment which within the classroom that is highly experiencing, so that when they go out one fine day, you would be so satisfied as that teacher who has contributed to their future welfare. So now, as I've told you, when we spoke about the first example that I gave you, behavior, how can you understand that there is a diversity within this group of average students? Is there a tool, a scale to measure it? But when it comes to performance, yes, we know exactly how different is one student from another within this average group of students, because we have the assessment tools, the evaluation tools. Are we using them continuously or not to reflect on both the students' performance as well as our performance, and use this tool to help us better ourselves? Are we adopting it or not? Again, apart from those 4 types of, teaching styles, more and more teaching styles are coming in, especially with the advancement in the technology. Now with the AI, how many of us are using AI as a big support system to not on how we teach, to guide us on not how we write, to guide us on how we or not on how we uh, bring in these innovative pedagogies? No, I myself will never look to the AI for support in that way, but I will take the support of AI to manage my classroom, giving me the highest output as far as my focus on the learning outcome of the student. This is how I would view in using these AI tools. So different types of AI tools are there. That's why if you still go back to the objective of this very guideline, what type of pedagogical approaches do we bring in? What type of strategies do we integrate to ensure that there is a learning outcome in our students? And whether we are competent or not. If we're not, then we have to look for building the right kind of skills. Research, introduction of research in a 4-year undergraduate program. As teachers, are we equipped? Can we treat research as a pedagogy? We have been using it for years, especially from the field of sciences. We have the laboratories, we have the different types of practicals, but how much has those experimentations that have taken place in our laboratories years after years contributed to the society? What a waste. So much of investment have gone into these experiments year to year, but how much have we contributed to our society? What is the lab to land contribution? We have failed. Again, gratitude as a pedagogy. How much do we acknowledge? How much do we value the time that is being spent by our students, being spent by us? How much have we learned? Have we recorded? A student may not give you that result which is appealing to you, a result which is satisfying to you. However, a student has spent time, has spent some effort in doing the task that has been given to the student. How do we show that gratitude, display that gratitude pedagogy? Do we culture it? Do we cultivate it? We need to change our mindset if we have to embrace student diversity and link it to inclusion. So, if you look at this particular guideline, it has 18 graduate attributes. And each graduate attribute has its own learning needs. And again, each learning need has its own pedagogical approach. So which type of pedagogical approach do we use for a learning need to ensure that the student has attained an attribute which can be, assigned to a student being a graduate? Has the student have the comprehensive knowledge? Why are some students getting only 40% and some students are getting 80%? Where is the gap? How can I as a teacher reduce the gap and ensure that every student has at least 80% of the knowledge of what has been taught so that they can use that knowledge professionally and skillfully? Is the deficiency within us teachers? Have we brought in the right kind of pedagogy to address to the right kind of needs to ensure that there is a complex problem solving? Can AI be one of the mechanism, the tools that help us to solve a problem? What are the type of approaches do we bring in for critical thinking, creativity, communication skills, research skills, collaborating or coordinating with each other? Are we bringing in the right type? Now, for example, collaborating, coordinating, communication skills. Do we bring in the, the different types of learning strategies? That highly collaborative, interaction amongst the students. Are we aware of the different types of cooperative learning strategies? Maybe it is only the teachers who are teaching education. What about us from the life sciences, physical sciences? We need to have an understanding of how much skilled we are. Okay, then the leadership skills. Learning how to learn, that means lifelong learners. Digital literacy skills, multicultural competence. If we can bring in that multicultural competence as well as, value inculcation, then a time will come where again categories are disappearing from our very ecosystem. There will not be any, biases towards geographical, cultural, socio-economic groups. So all these, if we can bring within our teaching environment, to love the environment, then lastly, community engagement and service, which is very important, as well as empathy. So most of these requires that type of pedagogical approach where you allow a student to have an experiential learning. So these are the different types of cooperative learning strategies. How many do we use them? Why do we use them? Why don't we use them? Brainstorming, group discussion, role plays. See, some of the topics can be well understood if we bring in the role play. Now, for example, if we really care about our environment, how can we bring in that role play within our classroom where our student understands depriving one group of organisms from their habitat? Why are we humans so selfish? So role play, can have a great teaching when it comes to these traits within us that are so negative. Then guided questioning. You have to create that, scientific tempo within a student that probing mind. Interpretive train, for example, how much does your student know about your institution? Do you have this signage within the institution, within the campus, that talks a lot about your institution? Yes, during the time of admissions, we do have the, the brochure, and within the brochure, you would give all this information, but that would be forgotten within time. However, if you have these interpretive trails, students, will have that knowing of the college every day, and that is how they can have that love for the institution, move higher, the state, the nation. So interpretive trail, can have its own advantage to the way we behave. Music, poetry, and visual arts, probably most of us use it. Stimulus activity, you could give, some sort of a video clip, some sort of a picture, an image. So we must be using all these critical incidences. Suppose if there is, right now we're having a lot of, rainfall in our state for the past 2-3 days. In fact, it has been pouring. Flash floods. What would I have done? What could I have done? What should I be doing? You see, these are the instances that keeps cropping up in our life unexpectedly. As we are moving from day to day, the unpredictability in our life, real world situation is increasing. So how do we help our students to act in such incidents? Case studies again becomes very interesting. Then reflexive account, individuals consider their position. Okay, of how much they know about an issue. So ultimately, how can I as a student, react or reflect on my understanding, keeping myself in that position? Then critical reading and writing. How much are students reading? How much are students writing? Now with the technology, probably these have come down. But if we are creative, we can at least make our students also go back to the age-old reading and writing and not cut, copy, paste. Problem-based learning, solution-based learning, these are very, very important. How does problem-based learning differ from a solution-based learning? Now, solution-based learning, since childhood, whenever I travel, it takes so much time. And in my mind, I would dream in cutting down the duration of traveling from one place to another. Could I make that happen? That is the very meaning of solution-based learning. You get the point? Then now when we talk about fieldwork and outdoor learning, storytelling, all these are important. Talks and presentation. Students can have that experiential learning and improve. So in this way, you are giving a menu to your students that has so much of variety. If you give these 100 different types of pedagogical approaches, apply it in your classroom, not using only one type of approach to sharing the knowledge. Imagine how much you have customized the learning of the students, because some students may love storytelling, some students may love presentation, some students may love role play, some students may learn more from a role play rather than a storytelling. So you're bringing all these dishes within a platter in the 4 or 5 months of your teaching. imagine how enriching it would be to the students. Again, whenever we teach any topic, we have to keep in mind the multidisciplinarity. How can we connect a knowledge out of different knowledge? Interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary. Ultimately, you have introduced the rich variety of taste to your students. Ultimately, you can still fail to assure yourself of how much your students have learned. That's why the evaluation and assessment system comes into play. It is so important. So now, suppose if I ask you this very important question. Do you practice continuous comprehensive assessment? Do you practice continuous comprehensive assessment in your classroom? Yes or no? Okay. For each and every topic? Each and every topic? Yes or no? Okay, excellent. What are the tools that you use for this continuous comprehensive assessment? Can you share with us? Can you share with us at least the tools that you're using so that we can also, have these tools? What are the tools that you use for this continuous comprehensive assessment? Giving your students, okay, quiz, but we will all use MCQs, but will the MCQs alone help us? What type of quiz do you bring in? Okay, you are just writing quiz. What type of quizzes do you bring in? Are they quizzes that test the Bloom's, taxonomy, such as what? Can the students recall of what has been taught? Can the students understand of what have been taught? Can the students be able to use this knowledge logically, analytically? Can the student use this knowledge creatively? Can the student use this knowledge to evaluate things? So you see, this is what we need to ask yourself. Are MCQs good enough? What type of MCQs? That means take the correct. Will they bring in that learning outcome? Are they testing the creativity? Are they testing the critical analysis? So we can reflect. It's not too late. See, now, for example, I have been asking you a lot of questions. That restricts ourselves to yes and no. But now, suppose I want to bring in, questions that make you think critically, analytically. So you need to create questions here. It will have to involve match the following, true or false, then MCQs, as you said, fill in the blanks. But again, your questions will have to be relevant. Then you can have the short answer questions, long answer questions. Now I asked you which tool did you use? What are the type of tools? You're saying quiz, but which one? Is it only Google form? Or do you have any ideas that the ICT software, offers us to assess our students, whether they have understood of what have been taught or not? Every session, every topic. And then, is that enough? I would still say no. Again, I have to spare some time for the students to reflect on why they have answered that question incorrectly. Reflection is very, very important. Now you need to ask yourself, why have I not gone through the guidelines on SEDJS? Why have I not gone through the guidelines of innovative pedagogical approaches and evaluation reforms? So if you can bring in all these, first we started with what? Understanding whether there is a diversity in your classroom or not. Introducing the different types of pedagogical approaches. testing of whether that pedagogical approach is effective or not. And finally, a reflection. Then only we have brought in the inclusive education. So now, evaluation, assessment plays a very, very important role. So continuous, comprehensive evaluation for every topic, every class. And this is where the AI comes into help for all of us. You can create questions in ChatGPT. ChatGPT has supported in creating the questions, but it doesn't mean that you take that question. You can moderate the questions, better the questions. You see, this is how the technology, the AI tool supports us in managing, not in guiding us, but in managing things. So apart from this criterion-based grading system, as Sir said, he gives after one chapter. Why not after every class? Keep the students, on the fingertip. And then after one chapter, or maybe after 3 chapters, you bring in the criterion-based grading. You can give it in the form of discussion. That's why we talk about gratitude pedagogy. Most of you are testing your students very restricted. Gratitude pedagogy, you have a discussion. Are you assessing? Are you evaluating? Are you giving marks to your students for a discussion? We're not. But your students have wasted so much time in the discussion. So you see, acknowledging, value the time both ways. This is again very, very important. So criterion based. It could be a seminar presentation. For that, yes, we do evaluate, we do assess. But why not for discussion? Even a 15 minutes discussion. What are the tools? How do we bring in the rubrics to assess them for this second type of evaluation, that is the criterion-based grading system? Learning outcome-based education. Now, one example that I give is that now we need to introduce research in our 4-year undergraduate program. The question is, first and foremost, have I created a curriculum, a pedagogy to teach research right from the first semester? Have I continuously evaluated my students of whether they have understood the entire research process? Have I brought in the criterion-based assessment to ensure that these are the parameters that are required for a research understanding in a 4-year undergraduate program? These are the parameters. How many students have passed these parameters? Because ultimately, when we talk about program outcome in your institution, what does your institution offer to your students in terms of employability? Some of them will be teaching oriented, some of them will be research oriented, some of them will be entrepreneurship oriented. So many things. Again, when you create these program outcomes, you have to move out of your institution and survey of what is around you, so that you can come up with the right kind of courses. So now, criterion based. Now, when the student goes to the last year, the 4th year, that is the 7th and the 8th semester, what is a requirement? A requirement is they have to come up with a project proposal. So that is the very meaning of learning outcome-based education. Have you been able to teach them to create a project? What are the criteria required? Not all of the students will be able to do research, because all of us are not inclined towards research. But at least those who are inclined towards research have our curriculum been able to support our students. So do you see the importance of evaluation and assessment? And till today, I can tell you that probably we are still missing out on this. So we have to reform ourselves first. We have to transform ourselves first to understand what are the needs. What is student diversity? What is inclusive education? So again, evaluation and assessment tools. Explore, explore. There are so many software that are free of cost. We need to explore. Again, we don't restrict, we don't limit ourselves to only one type of tool. We keep on exploring and then compare which is the best. Let me skip this. So last, if you still remember the objective of this guideline, are we competent? We need to first self-assess at the micro level. What is our responsibility? What is our duties that we need to perform? What is our role? Do we have the competence, the ability, the power? Power in terms of, does our institution provides us with the right kind of infrastructure? If not, how can I get that right kind of infrastructure? Do I have the ability, the competence? Okay, so I'll skip this, which is not as important. Okay, I can skip this also. So now, capacity building, is it an important factor or not? Is this program that you are attending now, okay, is this NEP, sensitization and orientation program? Okay, I want to ask you, is it beneficial to you or not? This is a question I want to ask you. Is it beneficial to you or not? Please, can you give your answers, yes or no? So you see, this is where capacity building is so important for us teachers. Why? Because it is dynamic. It keeps changing. We need to update ourselves from time to time. We need to update ourselves from time to time. So when we attend these programs, these capacity building programs, the professional development, what is in our mind? What is our goal? What is our aim to achieve? What type of aim? Are we learning because of circumstances? Is it because the University Grants Commission has sent the notification to our heads of institution that please nominate teachers to attend these programs? It will help them for their CAS. Is that the reason why you're learning? Or meeting the targets of the policy document? Or many of our teachers, after they have attended the programs, yes, in the beginning it is because of CAS, because they need to move from one level to another. But after they have learned, they realize that there is a desire to develop a skill. For what? To ensure that you transfer that skill for a greater student learning outcome. So we need to have the right kind of development program, where we meet the right kind of people who give us the right kind of information, who not only inform us, but even demonstrate. And not only demonstrate, but allow us to practice also, where we are able to learn, not only to learn, but there are many things that probably we need to unlearn, and there are many things that we need to relearn, so that the learning outcome allows us to be able to do. That means we can do, and when we go back, we will go and do transfer, and ultimately what would be the output? The output would be displayed amongst your students. So these I can leave it out. Feedback is very, very important. You may bring in these different pedagogical approaches, but a feedback from your student is very, very important. Does the approach helps the student in learning or not? So that's why when we talk about learning-based outcome, gradually from the first semester to the last semester, you see the learning outcome of, yes, your student has been able to write a proposal, got a proposal, and have been able to continue with the research in the 7th and the 8th semester. So teachers, we have to play a pivotal role in the implementation of all these what have been spoken from the start to now, so that we bring in that inclusive education. We have the autonomy to choose, to change the type of pedagogy. So we need to plan effectively. And if we do not have the skill, then we need to build the skill. So train every teacher, train every aspiring child holistically, okay? Creating an environment that shapes the roadmap of your student. So thank you so much. Let us be the shepherds to our students, especially in a time where there is so much of a change, a drastic change. Can we handhold each other? Can we handhold our students for a better future? So thank you so much. I hope this interaction has helped you, though it came as a big shock to me when Sir phoned me just 15 minutes back before I started. But since I have the passion, to interact with my teachers across the country, understanding the teachers from your region, from Maharashtra, and you understanding me from the far, northeast. So this is the beauty of this program, this platform, where we get to meet and interact with each other, belonging to different geographical regions, belonging to different cultures, and etc., etc. So thank you so much. I hope this has been helpful to all of you. Thank you. So let me stop sharing. So if there is any question from your side, you can come up with some questions from your side. Any interaction from your side? So, okay, if there are no more questions or interaction from your side, then at least I hope, we can help our institutions, our students do better in the future. Okay, so thank you so much, and please convey the same to, the director. So can I leave now? Can I leave now?
So we can conclude this evening now. Vijayata ma'am, you are there? Vijayata ma'am, you are there? So we will end this cloud meeting today. Tomorrow at 2:30, all of us we will join.